Kanye seems to be dropping Vultures 2 tonight, and I've been gone for the past 3 days, so we got a lot to cover, we got a lot to talk about today when it comes to the release of Vultures 2. That is probably dropping in just a couple of hours, so let's jump straight into this. If you want to stay up to date with everything surrounding hip-hop, make sure to subscribe and also become a part of this community by joining our Discord server in the description. So as I said, I was gone for the past 3 days, but a lot happened obviously, but it's still fresh enough for us to talk about it now, so let's go through it all and then also talk about this thing dropping tonight. So tomorrow, Friday, March 15th, the date that we always thought it would drop, I mean, ever since like last week, since it didn't drop on the original date of March 8th. But let's start with the 2 listening parties that we've had so far, just real quickly, because we have had a lot of songs that we knew before. We've had a lot of the same unfinished songs being played. But for example, in Phoenix, we've had a new song with 070 Shake previewed that seems to be the intro to the album. Also in Phoenix, we've gotten those epic pictures of Kanye going into the crowd. We have those black and white pictures that happened, that were taken there, which I think look insane, which I think look really dope. So Phoenix was already that. In San Francisco then, though, a lot of people started having some doubts because we heard a lot of the unfinished songs that we've heard in Phoenix 2 days before in San Francisco again. So it seems like Kanye didn't even finish those songs in the meantime, which obviously makes it questionable if those songs will be ready for a release tonight, but we'll see when it comes time for that release. But apparently it's still one of those situations where he's finishing songs up until the last minute. We've had some hints that he's still working on some of the stuff, so hopefully everything will be done when he actually decides to drop. If it's tonight, if it's over the weekend, we'll talk about it in a second. But San Francisco, honestly, for some people, it was a little bit too unfinished, but we'll see. Let's talk about something pretty big though, because over the past 24 hours, we've gotten reports that a lot of songs have been claimed on popular social media sites like YouTube, like TikTok, like Instagram, and also Shazam, that music detection service. I don't know if you know that, but songs are now being claimed by the artist Ye and Dolla Sign, and there were a bunch of more like on TikTok. But for example, in this post from the Good Ass Sub, we've had Promotion, IG Models, Breasts and Thighs, and Believer. Those are all also new names from previous, stuff that we've heard, so we can kind of already tell that all the names, the titles aren't going to be the same in the eventual end, but that is a very, very good sign that the album is being uploaded. We've had this happen with Vultures 1, and this is usually a good sign when we kind of want to see if the stuff is already being finished. So it seems like Kanye and Ty are uploading songs to their distribution platform in this case, and then the mechanisms on these individual social media platforms are already detecting all of those sounds and then claiming them, hence why the creators that use their sound, which were like snippets or people reposting it, are now getting claimed by them. But it is a good sign that this thing is very close to dropping, because that's usually what happens right before an album drops. Usually the album is uploaded a lot earlier than just 2 days before or a day before, so usually we have it like a week or 2 before, but still it's a good sign that this album is being finished and also being uploaded. Now let's also talk about something that has concerned the Kanye community over the past 3 days, which is YesJulz. I'm not going to talk about it a whole lot, but real quick, because you've probably seen this. YesJulz, a person that was very involved with the whole rollout of Vultures 1 as well, especially in contact and in conversation with all the fan pages. She was also the one that had a lot of the IG live stream for the hotel listening party after Miami back in December, I believe. And she also hosted this Twitter Spaces meeting, the Yeezy Army meeting, with a bunch of fan pages. And a lot of people accused her already of scamming people. She was using pages to promote her own stuff and then promising them stuff in return, like even connections to Kanye, talking to Kanye, stuff like that. Never happened. None of these pages ever got that, return from her. And so people are calling her a scammer. I mean, that's been around for quite some time. A lot of people hate her. A lot of people also like her for providing us with info. But this was once again one of those situations where she was just, blatantly abusing and using the fan pages for her own benefit, that even Kanye took notice of this and posted on his Instagram story. And this was pretty cool back when this happened. He said, "We have decided to no longer have YesJulz YesJulz involved in the rollout of Vultures. All the activity on her page and with our fans in the past few days has been unauthorized. So she's been fired from the Yeezy team, and she's been very mad about it on Twitter, very vocal about it. She even fell for a fake email. I saw it in the Good Ass Sub, one of those people. They sent her a fake email, you know, trying to get her to respond to it. She actually did. So she's going out bad in this one. But I mean, I never was the biggest YesJulz supporter. So yeah, I think a lot of people are happy about this. Also, I want to discuss one more thing, which was very, very much discussed like 2 or 3 days ago, which is this album, Vultures 2, being on streaming or not. And we've had some messages with Kanye with the Ye Fanatics page, and Ye Fanatics was really one of the best sources we've had over the past week because they've been in direct contact with Kanye. I went over one of the DMs earlier in a couple of videos, but he said, and I quote, "We also thought about holding off of streaming for a month, selling it first, movies go to theaters first, then to streaming." So he's talking about this thing not being on streaming first, but, and this is where it all came from, selling it for $20 on Yeezy.com. And he also mentioned James Blake, what James Blake said about music. Maybe you've seen this on Twitter. He was talking about how, you know, if you want good music, it needs to be worth something, and streaming services are not paying enough, and people aren't willing to pay for music as they were maybe back in the day when you used to buy physical copies of music. And there's really been like a complete divide in the music community, in the Kanye community, of people, one group saying like, yo, I'm not going to pay $20 for one album that is more than my monthly subscription of Spotify or Apple Music costs, and I can listen to all of my music on that. And other people saying, yeah, I'm going to pay $20 for this because obviously I want to support the artist, and I see the worth in this. The music is worth to me more than the $20 that I pay for it, which I would honestly consider myself part of that camp, but I also completely get the other one. But let me know which camp you're in the comments down below. Also, just real quick before we talk about the release date again, I wanted to mention this. It's not really big, but a lot of people were talking about this. Northwest announced in Phoenix, I believe, that she's going to be dropping her own album called Elementary School Dropout. I don't know how to feel about this. Obviously an homage to The College Dropout by Kanye, but she's dropping an album. I wasn't too convinced of her performance on Talkin' or Matthew. She's also been on that song as well. But let's see where this goes. I don't want this to be a trash kid project, but I don't think she's in the position yet to drop a College Dropout equivalent album, by no means. So we'll see where this goes. Now, let's talk about this thing dropping tonight. So we already have some good hints that it is actually being uploaded by all of the songs being claimed on social media. But also, obviously, we have Rolling Loud happening tonight in California, with only Ye and Dolla being listed as the headliners for today. And all of the talk is obviously that it will drop tonight. We've had more hints from Rolling Loud at this, so you know, people are saying that that's maybe a reason. But Rolling Loud has trolled us a lot in the past too. But considering that we've just had 2 real listening parties with new songs being played, it is kind of likely that it'll drop. We've also had some info from YesJulz in that Twitter Spaces thing, which I don't know how seriously we can take this because now she's been fired, but she said that it was going to be dropping this weekend. She didn't say Friday, so it might be coming Saturday or Sunday, which would honestly be completely okay. Vultures 1 also dropped very late Friday, and I think they just manipulated that release date to the day before so that they were in line with the release dates that they put out in the trailer. But there's a very big chance that it'll drop after not dropping last week. One of the reasons that it might not have dropped last week was that they were still wanting Carnival to go #1, which was really big because they dropped it independently, and Kanye is now the only artist to have a #1 spot in 3 different decades. And Carnival actually did it this past week. Carnival reached the #1 spot for this week, so up until March 16th, beating, you know, Beyonce's song that dropped to place 5, I believe. So she really dropped. Carnival went up, which is pretty good for Kanye. So I think that was one of the reasons, and now they did it. That was a big dub, and now they can go on to drop the second one, which I think honestly will drop this weekend. I'm not putting my money on Friday. I'm not putting it on there, but we will learn a lot more about this. And I think we'll get an announcement today at Rolling Loud. So I think that will be pretty cool, and we'll get a lot of new info on there. So make sure that you subscribe not to miss out on anything happening over the past 1 or 2 days, because now I'm back again working with all of the energy I got on dropping content for you guys as soon as we learn more stuff about this. But now I want to know what y'all think about this too. Let's celebrate this rollout as a community together. Let me know what y'all thought about all of the news that have piled up over the past 2 to 3 days, and let me know what y'all think about this in the comments down below. If you watched this video to the end and liked it, and you want to stay up to date with all current hip-hop events and releases, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, hit that like button, and go follow my social media, and most importantly, join my Discord in the description. Until the next one, you'll have an incredible day, and y'all take care.